Hey, what's up, guys? This is David Chase Taylor of 911truther.org. Today is October 4th of 2025. So, based on breaking news and events, it appears that CIA headquarters located beneath CERN at Lake Geneva is going to stage World War III between the United States and Israel versus Iran and/or other Arab nations in the Middle East by the date of October 7th of 2025, which marks coincidentally the 2-year anniversary of the false flag October 7th attacks by Hamas. So before I get into exactly how this is going to transpire, I just want to make a couple points. It is imperative to note that Hamas are Israeli special forces, and that is why there will never be a peace deal, and that is why you have never seen a dead Hamas soldier, and that is why you always see Hamas soldiers with the latest tactical gear, with GoPros, and their uniforms are always perfectly clean, even though they're running around in tunnels. And so this impending war is basically going to be executed under false pretenses, because Hamas is not an actor on behalf of the Palestinian state, but rather a rogue element of the Israeli military, who has murdered millions or potentially millions of Palestinians under the guise of an Islamic jihadist terror group, and that is why they always wear a mask and they never show their face. So this impending war on October 7th is going to be the beginning of World War III, and it is going to be biological, chemical, radiological, and or nuclear in nature. And it's going to destroy the United States, it's going to destroy the Middle East, and it's going to be absolute hell on earth, and it's going to bring forth the prophecy of Revelation 16:16, which is the Battle of Armageddon. So exactly how this is going to transpire in the next few days is obviously not known, but on September 29th of 2025, U.S. President Donald J. Trump announced from the White House a brand new peace deal for the ongoing conflict between Hamas and Israel in the Gaza Strip. And he gave the October 5th deadline for Hamas, but because Hamas is the terror arm of the Israeli Defense Forces, they will predictably not agree to this peace plan. So consequently, it's highly likely that on the date of October 6th, which coincidentally marks 730 days since the October 7th attacks, the CIA will stage an offensive by Israel or an offensive by Hamas. So it's gonna go either which way. It's what's called in football a wildcat. It could go either which way. And what's imperative to note about this numerology is that the date of October 6th, this marks 730 days, and 7 times 3 is 777, which is coincidentally found in the tetragram of Yahweh, which is the highest god in Judaism. And so this blood sacrifice of potentially millions of Palestinians is going to happen on this esoteric numerology. Not only that, but the 20-point plan put forth by the Trump administration at the behest of Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, is designed to foreshadow numerically the 2-year anniversary of this October 7th attack, which is going to result in this nuclear war that's about ready to happen starting on October 7th. Because you have to understand that everything that the CIA does is numerologically sound. They always do stuff on certain numbers and certain dates, and in this case, this impending World War III Armageddon scenario between Hamas, the Israeli terror arm, and the IDF, and the United States, because the ultimate goal here is to draw the United States into a conflict with Iran, which will predictably be nuclear in nature. So exactly how this is all going to play out is obviously not known, but when Sunday, October 5th comes around, which is the deadline that U.S. President Donald J. Trump has instituted or given for Hamas, Hamas is not going to accept the peace deal, okay? And this is the first step. So once Hamas rejects the Trump administration's peace deal, then the Israeli IDF, the Israeli Air Force, Israeli Navy, along with the United States Armed Forces, will begin an assault on the Gaza Strip to allegedly eradicate the remaining Hamas members. And coincidentally, because of the ongoing 2-year demolition of the Gaza Strip, there's roughly 2 million people that they're basically housed up in Gaza City, and this is where the brunt force of the attack is going to take place. And so we're going to see an aerial bombardment, and we're going to see death on a level that we've never seen before. We're probably going to see up to 1 million people be killed on live television. And then once this happens, then Iran, Turkey, Israel, Jordan, Egypt, Lebanon, all the Arab nations in the region are going to basically attack United States Air Forces or Israeli forces that are committing this secondary genocide of this super genocide, if you will. And the other option is that Hamas, the other option that the CIA could execute is that Hamas could agree to the peace deal and then stage attacks on Israel. But the plan C, so you have A, which is Hamas disagrees or fails to abide by the peace agreement. Then you have plan B, which is Hamas agrees but will stage attacks. And then plan C would be that if Netanyahu, and this is the caveat of the peace deal, is that if Hamas agrees to this impending peace agreement, then Netanyahu, his fail-safe, if you will, is that he's going to annex the West Bank. And so U.S. President Donald J. Trump just stated in an interview in the Oval Office that Netanyahu is not going to annex the West Bank. So upon doing this, upon the annexation of the West Bank, which will likely happen around October 7th, if this peace deal with Hamas does in fact go through. See, that's the way that Netanyahu can basically blow up the peace agreement. But because I believe that Hamas is an actor of Israel, I think that's highly unlikely. But if that does happen, then Benjamin Netanyahu will predictably annex the West Bank. And in doing so, he will once again invite the wrath of the Arab, Islamic, and Muslim world, which will likely feature a mass attack on Israel and thereby triggering World War III. So either which way you cut it, I believe that World War III will commence on the date of October 7th, either by an Israeli offensive, a U.S. offensive targeting the Gaza Strip, a Hamas offensive targeting Israeli forces and possibly U.S. forces that are in the region, or other state actors in the region, such as the aforementioned Turkey, Jordan, Egypt, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, etc., Lebanon, Syria, they attacking U.S. and or Israeli forces in the region. So that's what's about ready to go down. I believe this is going to happen most likely on the during the broadcast of Monday Night Football, with the Kansas City Chiefs are playing, I believe, the Jacksonville Jaguars on Monday night, which would be October 6th, and so this would be October 7th in Israel, and so I believe that this negotiation is going to derail prior to or during the live broadcast of Sunday Night Football on the 5th, or and likely continuing on with Monday Night Football on the 6th. Monday Night Football is one of the highest rated television shows in the United States. You have the Super Bowl, former Super Bowl champions, the Chiefs, along with Taylor Swift and the whole media blitz with her recent album dropping and her boyfriend or fiance playing in this game. So there's unprecedented attention going to be on this game, and I believe that they're going to use the live broadcast of this football game, this NFL football game, to basically start World War III. And I believe that Trump is being tricked into doing this, this putting forth this peace agreement, because I believe he's genuinely acting in good faith, trying to find a solution. But what he doesn't understand is that Hamas is an Israeli terror arm. And I can prove this because there's a report from the Wall Street Journal from September 24th of 2009 saying it's entitled How Israel Helped Spawn Hamas. And then there's a more recent report from this year, just a few days ago, which I put in all my reports about Hamas, is that it's saying how Benjamin Netanyahu helped nurture Hamas. So basically, that is why, as I previously stated, you've never seen a dead Hamas soldier, and you never will, and that they always have brand new uniforms, and they always have the latest weaponry, and they have GoPros, tactical gear, they have the latest rifles. And so they basically, if you put a Hamas soldier next to an Israeli special forces, you cannot tell the difference. And they are always masked because they are in fact Israeli citizens, and they are acting on behalf of Palestinians when in fact they are Israelis. And this is the hoax, and this is evident in the name of Hamas, which comes from the Jewish food called hummus. So it's an inside joke, and Trump's getting played by Netanyahu and his Zionist backers, and it's all going to derail, and it's going to spark World War III when Hamas fails to reach this deadline by the date of October 7th, which the night of October 6th marks exactly 730 days. And so if you need to look at the tetragram of Yahweh, you can see clearly the 777. So anyways, obviously if this plan goes through and World War III commences on the date of October 7th, the 2-year anniversary. And it's also, I should say in closing, that it's highly likely that they will claim, or they will stage an Iran-backed Hamas or an Iranian offensive targeting Israel on the 2-year anniversary, because the CIA always stages attacks on anniversaries of certain events. And in this case, a mass attack on the state of Israel is expected on the morning of the 7th. And this is also the 7-7 numerology, which also forms the triangle on the Israeli flag. So either way you cut it, the numerology suggests a mass attack, and it's basically, as I said before, it's going to be biological, chemical, radiological, or nuclear in nature, and it's going to involve the United States, Iran, and Israel, and it's going to lead to Armageddon. So obviously if that happens, I would kindly ask that you download this video and share it with local, state, and federal law enforcement, military, and intelligence officials, as well as with local, national, and international media outlets. Peace.